Hi guys, it's Kenshi here. I know it's been a while and this is not what I wanted my first video to be. Just preparing the whole room and my new setting just took some time, but let's just get to it. I think somehow my company and we ended up with a stalker. I already shared it on my close friends on Instagram. If you've not seen it, you're probably not there, but that's okay. I shared the picture of a person and I'm gonna get to the event. So it just quickly happened in I think 3 days. So I work we deal with customers, and if someone comes and shows interest, yeah, we usually guide them and tell them, hey, this is the kind of work we do, etc., etc. So yeah, it takes back 3 days ago. So 3 days ago, my boss was in the balcony. We have a terrace, talking with the neighbors. There were 4 or 5 of them, and there was this random dude. Then I realized, of course, it's a foreigner with tomato red head. He was walking down the nearby alley. He just spotted me, walked a bit forward, and then he kind of came backwards and directly just looking toward me. He approached, our door. And then I thought, okay, wow, we finally have a foreigner who's interested. And then I asked him, hey, what can I do for you? Well, come to our business. And the first thing he asked, oh, where are you from? And this situation's always lie, man. Seriously. Being honest does not lead anywhere in these situations. When you meet random people, it ends up with, some stalker at your butt. And I honestly said, yeah, I'm from here. How about you? And he said, oh, States. I'll come back to that later because a friend of mine told me that people just say States to remain anonymous and await the questions. Anyhow, I started talking hey, this is the kind of job we do. Do you have a pet? Because we work with pets, but we also take photos of people. And he was like, oh yeah, I used to have a cat, but now I don't. And I was like, okay, cool. I gave him a catalog of what we do here so he can look through, and I was just waiting around. My boss was still talking with the neighbors, and at this moment I was feeling maybe this guy just, came to our door, just, started a conversation with me. It's just that sixth sense that you feel okay, there is something wrong, and maybe this guy just approached you for, hitting on you, or some vicious, weird intentions, whatever they have in mind. And after a while, he asked, do you have Wi-Fi? And it was very stupid of me to just, offer it, which I will never do again. And will flatly and clearly just decline anyone that, no, if you're not a customer who's paying and inside our shop, you're not gonna get a use of our Wi-Fi. And then he looked at it, and after a while he said, oh, why the name of the company and the year that you're established is very different than this catalog? And I was well, we are part of this one. But whoa, I really didn't get the comment. And then I asked, do you have a friend who might be interested? We if people just go around and, introduce new people as our customers. And he said, oh yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I do have a friend. And then he opened this phone, and I think he opened the line profile, if I'm not wrong, and he showed me a girl, and it's do you know this person? Have you seen her around? And I'm duh, no. I said, there are a lot of people who live here and who have pets. And it's a lot of, families that live just around this, neighborhood. And then he still was sitting there, and I was, not liking the vibe there, and was why is this guy still here? And then he asked, till what time are you guys open? What is the business hours? And I was okay, this time we work on these days, and these days are off days. And then he was oh, okay. And then he went. My boss came and asked me, was he your friend? I was of course not. He was just a random dude. But I told her, I felt maybe he just approached me to, hit on me and ask me out, flirt with me, etc. So this happened around like 11, 12 in the morning. And we went out with my boss. Her brother was here. The whole family were like in a family. I went to my house, and then they were coming back to, our shop because that's where the car was parked. And the brother spotted in the darkness and depths of our terrace, there's a figure sitting. Then he got shot, of course, and it was the same weird dude in the morning. He was just sitting in the darkest corner when nobody can see him and our cameras cannot catch him. And well, the brother can speak English. The dude realized he has zero Japanese. And the brother was like, this is a private property, like, get the hell out of here. And he was like, oh, I'm waiting for my friend. Can I sit here for like 2 hours? And then they were like, of course not. This is a private zone. Get out. And then he said, but what about the blue-haired girl? I want to talk to the XX owner of this place. Like, he was my nationality and he thought I'm the owner. And the brother said, like, she's not owner here. She's like a staff. This person is the owner. But you have to leave, of course. And the guy, like, the thing is, like, we don't know why, but he was sitting half naked. Like, he took off his t-shirt. And we thought, like, I was like, maybe he was drunk or maybe it was too hot because, well, it's like hell these days in Tokyo and in Japan. And then before he left, apparently he made a comment that, do you know that your CC cameras don't work and they don't take any footage at night? It can be dangerous. And my boss instantly just called me. And at that point I was with my boyfriend. And she said, yeah, I did this because I thought you won't be scared. But this happened and I think he might be stalking you. And I was like, I just met him. Like, literally, this was the first time I laid eyes on this person. But anyhow, then the next day I come to work. Of course, I had to wear different clothes not to be spottable. I wore a bucket hat and like tied my hair because you can spot my hair from far away. And yeah, that's like stalker proof kind of a kid that I have to go through. And then we started working. It was around 10:30 that the same guy came again. And this time he was on his bicycle. And we realized that he kind of parked his bicycle we have like a residential building in front. He parked it there, like tried to hide it so no one can see it, which was fucking shady. And then he approached our, shop with his phone in hand. And he was like, oh, let me take a photo of this place. And I was clearly, in the frame because we have glass kind of doors, walls, whatever. You can see everyone inside. And my boss and I just said like, hey boss, this weirdo is here. And she came outside. She cannot speak English. The guy doesn't speak Japanese. But my boss was like, show me what you took. Like, what are you taking photos of? This is a private place. Or like, delete it. And the guy was like, no, this is my private phone. But the boss was like, get out of here. You cannot be here. And he was like, okay, cool. And then she hurriedly called out to me, like, can she give me a phone? And she started taking his photos, to give back the courtesy. And, well, we got him, like, in a nice frontal shot. And she was like, well, don't underestimate the photographers, which I will give to her. And, yeah, then he just left. And he's like, okay, chill, something like that. And it was too weird. Like, we instantly sent the photos to other members. And then later at night, we went to the police to report. And they were very nice to hear us. Like, I thought, like, if we just say that this person might be a stalker, they will just brush it off. But we approached with the sense that this person is dangerous to our company and dangerous to this person. Because he clearly last night kept asking about me. And the police actually listened, took photo with their nice digital camera of our like screen. as a screenshot. They took a photo of me and they listened and they said, like, just call us. Whatever happens, if he shows his face, just call us instantly. And we passed an action like deirekinshi. It's like kind of a restriction order. Like it says you have zero, like no trespassing. You're not allowed to be in the vicinity of our property. And that's it. And today, this is the third day, but this was like my off day. I wasn't at office. At 8:30 in the morning, apparently, my boss later, called me. She said, like, one of our neighbors, she was taking her dog to a walk because it's cooler in the morning. She spotted this weird guy coming on his bike and checking if there are people inside the shop. And after, I think, like 1 or 2 minutes, my boss also comes and tries to open the door from inside. And then she realized this fucker is still sitting in the terrace. And of course she got scared, but the thing is, like, we got our dog in the shop, so she will taste the flesh of men for the first time. She doesn't bite, but yeah, we encourage her to bite if there are any dangerous people to us. Anyhow, my boss was like, get out of here. You cannot be here. And the guy, as soon as he saw my boss, he started yelling, no, 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 no. And then apparently just left. But he was still outside the terrace, the entrance, and my boss called the police, and they sent one guy instantly, like in 5 minutes, which is fast. Even my boss was like, wow, they sent someone fast. And the policeman, he listened to us yesterday and he knows what's going on. So he called for like backup, and 4 or 5 more people came. And they can't speak English. This dude doesn't speak Japanese, which is weird, but I don't know how much happened here, but my boss realized that the guy went to a narrow alley behind. Like, it's just like next to our shop. And at the end of that little alley, there is like a building. There's like one detached house or whatever. He sat on the steps of that house. And from that spot, you can see anyone who's crossing the main alley. So she was like, if you cross there, he's waiting there, he'll see you. And then apparently the policeman approached him and he had a German passport on him. So yeah, if anyone says I'm from States, apparently they're bullshitting. And he had a passport on, which is weird because I don't know how many of the legit foreigners who work here, who have a ID card, who have a residence card, carry around passport. I don't, because my everything is written in a residence card. I will never ever need a passport to show anything. And from what my boss understood, like, he tried to say, oh, I was married before. And now I'm waiting to see a friend. Maybe this friend is the ex-wife or whatever. And he said, like, but I don't know her address or her telephone. I don't know where she lives, so I'm just waiting here to meet her. And we're like, what? I mean, the thing is, like, police after a while told my boss to leave because his private info should not be revealed to us, who are in danger of his stalking. But whatever. And, well, the police cannot arrest him. They couldn't arrest him because he was not carrying any weapon, any knife. We don't have guns in Japan. And there's no crime committed. I mean, what is the crime that needs to be committed for them to arrest this guy? Like, seriously. But they're unable to, arrest him, but they have this information because they looked, probably, and they had to interrogate him. We don't know more details, but after he said, like, my boss said, like, he might be looking for another girl, I remembered that he showed me a photo of a girl. And I was like, okay, maybe he's really stalking someone else. And suddenly, like, he was like, oh, a girl with green hair. Because he has a tomato red hair. I don't know what's the correlation here between these two, but that was very weird. But at the same time, we realized that he hid his bike somewhere again because it was not visible and the police didn't see it, although it's in the photo. And there's so many things creepy and wrong with this guy. Like, if he's stalking another girl, why was he asking about me? Like we changed the Wi-Fi password, so maybe he might stop coming because he realizes, okay, there's no more free Wi-Fi's here, so he can get the fuck out to somewhere else. But still, yeah, this is the latest update so far, and I have to, like, it creates a lot of trouble for me. Because, I have to disguise myself. I don't have that much of baggy clothes to even, like, try to look like a non-voluptuous dude. Like, oh, yeah, kind of, I don't know. In some sort of disguise, I wear bucket hat in this heat to just, conceal my hair, and you literally cannot see that it's me. If I wear a mask, I'm totally unrecognizable from outside, but still, it's just it's a big pain in the ass that I didn't need, my company didn't need, but everyone's being very supportive. My boss added me and some of the neighbors to, like, emergency neighbor call, neighbor watch. They're the people who live, like, in our alley. They live very close, and if something happens, they can instantly run to us. And my boss said, like, she's gonna go around and show the photo of this dude to the people in the alley, so the neighborhood also knows that there is a weirdo and they should ASAP call the police. Because whatever he's doing, he's just too creepy and up to no good. Like, even seeing him once, like, he's sneaking around doing random things. He sits at private people, like, private houses, stairs for, like, what? Why do you sit at someone's house's doorway for 2 hours, for 3 hours? Man, my voice. And yeah, I was thinking, like, can we, like, buy, like, a pepper spray? My boyfriend said, why don't you buy, like, a bear spray? I'm like, what's a bear spray? He said, like, Kuma spray is, like, what they used to, fight back with bears. And I was like, is it legal? Because carrying pepper spray for no reasons is illegal, and it's a criminal act in Japan. But I looked into some Japanese, writings to see if, like, what's the deal with it. And according to what I read, it's legal to have and own it in your private house. So we can buy one for my house, one for the shop, and it's still our private property. But I cannot carry it around without any justifiable reason. Like, I cannot randomly put a pepper spray in my bag and just go around. Another friend suggested, like, can we show a proof that we went to the police and they know what's going on, and then I can carry, like, this pepper spray or something with me. But the detective there, Sato-san, he knows us. So apparently if I just say what's going on, they will know it. And so far, that's what's been going on. Like, this is, like, he just kept coming in 3 days since he just randomly saw me. I don't even know if it's random or not. Yeah. That's also another creepy, scary part, but I don't think he knows where I live. He just keeps showing up in our shop at constant or different weird times. And the problem was, like, they cannot communicate with him, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, it's just got us all alert. Our head is all over the place, like, what the fuck is just happening? Why is this happening? And this is the first case for, apparently, my work. My boss is joking and saying, well, you're a pigeon, you're beautiful. That's sometimes, sometimes men happen. Sometimes men happen. Yeah, I mean, stalking apparently is considered serious, but at the same time, they don't really take it that seriously in Japan unless there is a crime happening, or crime has already happened, aka a girl has been murdered, or someone has been knifed. I don't know. They just stab you and then they will think of doing something. I just read a lot of stuff about this, like, police don't care really how many times a girl calls them and tells them, like, this guy's, my ex is stalking me. But the policeman in our neighborhood, they were nice, they listened, and they took it kind of seriously. Because we approached that this person is harmful to our business, then we are two women there. He is dangerous for us, and especially me. And from another stand of, another point of view, the thing is like this is a foreigner bothering a Japanese with like a foreigner staff, but we're dealing with a foreigner, and unfortunately, um, we have a lower legal and right stand compared to a Japanese. If the person was Japanese, we would have had definitely harder time. And if we take any actions against him, I mean, legally he cannot sue us or, just file a report against us like, hey, they hit me, and like it will be self-defense. And he, as far as I know, doesn't have the legal place, or, he's not Japanese, to do anything back to us and me. Legally we're speaking. So that part, yeah, even if even if my boyfriend beats the hell out of him, my boyfriend might probably get away with it, because still it's a Japanese versus a foreigner, which is unfair in most cases. But in my case, yeah, the guy is a weirdo. And if something else happens, I mean, let's see where it goes, hopefully. I might put another video, but yeah, creepy shit happens. Yeah, I don't know. But see you hopefully with better content and better videos before every damn weird problem finds me. I don't know why this thing happens always on August. I still haven't told what happened in the previous August, which was fucked up as well. And I was targeted, but not in this way. Like, it was kind of a cyber random mails to kind of defame me, but I will get back to that later in the video. So yeah, it's another video with Kenshi, and in this episode, I got a stalker. Stay safe, girls. Stay safe in Japan. Men, you also stay safe. There are a lot of weird people outside, and sometimes you cannot do anything to fight them back. But stay safe.